Welcome back, guys. So we are here now with Nneihaa Vvikas. She's a life and business coach. She does some amazing work, and she's got so much knowledge to share with us. When I connected with Nneihaa and spoke to her the other day, I was just like, I just felt even just light after just speaking to her. So you're going to have an amazing session now. Her topic is 8 simple steps to healing completely, and healing is a massive part of personal development journey. So without further ado, as always, with over to yourself, Nneihaa.
Thank you so much, Suman. I'm so delighted to be here today. And hello, everyone. I'm so glad that we are meeting over here. This is my first time, and I hope to, know you all better and serve in the best possible ways. I'll be sharing PPT quickly, as we are already running out of time. Uh, you already know a little bit about me from Suman, but if there is any question that you'd like to have from me, like know from me as an answer, please let me know. Today, I'm going to share with you 8 simple steps of healing yourself. But I'm going to start with a small story. Like I've been hearing all these wonderful people today over there, and I'm so amazed at how things have turned out for people. And I have a small, little sweet story of myself, which I'd like to share with you, which will give you an insights how healing journey has a sequence, and if you follow that, you can just almost achieve anything and everything, like I did in my life. So let me start from my personal true story from 1998 to 2014. This is me in 1998. I know I don't look like this anymore, and we all change. But I used to be a very docile kind of a person who did not have much of self love for herself, which ended up me feeling this way uh, because of my own thought process, my self doubt, and kind of lack of self love that I had for myself. I ended up having autoimmune diseases, and I ended up having stage 4 osteoarthritis, vitiligo, overweight, and all of it, to an extent where I could not even look into my own eyes. And then came a time when I embarked on the journey of self love and understanding myself on the deeper level. So, yes, I was still overweight, as you can see in the picture, but a lot of things changed for me because I could truly love myself for who I am. And how did I reach from 1998 to 2006 to 2014 is a very long story, which I would not be sharing right away. But I'll give you a glimpse of what actually happened. Like a lot of people say, what? How can things go so wrong that people can change so much? So I had been through a very tough marriage in a very toxic environment, and the broken marriage actually broke me internally, where I was constantly being, put down, body shamed. When I was that thin as I was in 1998, I was expected to lose more weight. I did not know what to do, where to go, and I was looking for approval from other people while
Hi,
I was
Neha,
going
just to
through.
interrupt. Your slideshow that you're sharing, we can only see the first one. So I think you need to go down on the slideshow so we can see the next picture.
Oh, okay. Can you see the next one? No.
It's just disconnected now. Just reconnect your screen again, and then we
All
can
right.
see
Yeah.
it.
Thank you
Because I
for
could
letting
see
me
it
know.
like the small, I could see it at the side, the small picture, but we couldn't see it in the big screen. So I just thought I'd interrupt and just let you know so that you can. There you go.
Thank you.
Perfect.
You can see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So, I gave into believing into somebody else about, what their thoughts are about me instead of me knowing and understanding myself from inside out. I lost all my confidence. I lost all my self worth to the words of other people around me. And I'm in India, by the way, so this can be a little difficult. The culture was a little different at that time back then. Right now, things have changed a lot. I'm talking about something in 1998, right? So it was a little different at that time. And because I gave into believing into what people were saying, I started distancing from my own self, which was the biggest damage to my health and my self esteem. And that's why, I encountered stage 4 osteoarthritis at the young age of 32. I was told that my knees are not working anymore and I need to get it operated. uh, I got ovarian cyst in my right ovary, which was it was a difficult situation wherein, I was proposed operation again, so I had to go under surgeries or again and again to heal myself, which I was not willing to do. So when I understood that there are my emotions connected to everything that I'm going through in my life when it comes to my health, I tried to change it. I tried to change it emotionally instead of going through surgeries, which I was not really convinced to. And I was feeling that if I'm going to cut myself through all this surgery, what will be left behind? I'll constantly keep on doing this. So I landed I just ended up reading a beautiful book, You Can Heal Your Life, by Louise Hay. I'm sure a lot of you must be knowing that. And finally, that book gave me a lot of insights into who I am and why I am going through the issues that I'm going through and how I can heal that. It has not been a quick journey, of course, but it was worth a while. This is me again in 2015 with all the weight that I had on my body, with all the diseases that I had. I did not get myself operated, but I started working on myself rigorously on my mental health. And healing my body through my emotions, which Louis Hay is promoting a lot in our book. And this is me in 2021. So I'm going to share a bit about what was my healing journey like and
Nneihaa,
what other.
just to let you
Yeah.
know, we've only still got that slide up, the one that was your second slide. So I'm not sure if you're using different screens for your screen share, but just go through your arrows so that we can see the other slides.
That's a little strange, but I'll do that again. I'll stop and maybe I'll share
Yeah, I just
again.
wanted to make sure people can see what you're showing.
Yes, absolutely. This can get very interesting. Can you see that now?
It's coming up. Yes,
So
we can see that.
it's just showing us it's not showing us the presentation, the presenter mode. It's just showing the actual thing. So if you use the down arrow to change between slides, it will just change in this view. So you don't need to change anything.
Can you see this now?
Yeah, as long as you don't click to change and you press the down arrow on your keyboard, it will change for everybody.
It will change. All right, wonderful. So
Awesome.
this is my journey from, thank you so much. Thank you. So this is my journey from almost 125 kilograms to 70 kilograms. And it was not a small journey. It was every point. There was so much of to and fro. We all know how much we struggle when it comes to weight loss. That's the biggest journey. Like, I think, getting out of a traumatic relationship, working on my health, working on my mindset, working on, I was broken totally when it comes to my finances. So working on my business, all of that had been a roller coaster ride for me, but nothing can replace my joy of having my health back. So, and which is so visible. Other things are not that visible. This is so visible, and people constantly ask me this. So I one day actually sat down and people would ask me, how did you do that? How did I do that? People would just keep on asking me that. So I sat down and wrote down the exact points that I actually implemented in order to change my health and my life altogether. So in a bit, I'm just going to share about that with you all. So first thing is your brain, your mind. I think all the speakers today had talked about mindset, had talked about how your mind over matter. And if you really mind, then it matters. Otherwise, it doesn't. And I'm also going to talk about the same thing, just adding my experience to it. So the simple 8 steps that I became aware of and started using in order to change my life were all, mental changes that I got. And once the mental changes started happening, the physical changes also started showing up. No matter if it was my business, it was my health, it was my relationship, it was anything that I was going through in my life. So the first step to healing yourself completely is to know exactly, becoming aware. So a lot of people are not even aware that what's going on wrong that needs to be corrected. Sometimes a lot of issues that you're facing right now can come from your childhood. And if your inner child is not healed, and it is not healed because you don't even know that that issue is coming to you from your childhood, because you had started believing certain things in a very young age, which is damaging your present moment as well. You don't learn not having self-worth when you grow up. You learn that when you are a child, because how you had been treated and what you have
Yeah, I'm
heard.
just going to jump on again. We're having the same issue. Can you do me a favor? Can you just stop your screen share and then just reshare the whole screen again for me? Because it's not changing. So if you just stop it completely and then just restart, and then just make sure that you're sharing that one screen. And I think if you've got presenter mode on, let's close presenter mode and just use it how it was.
So yes, I am into present to audience. So what do you want me to do?
So you can close the present mode. So you can come out of that as if you're just looking at the slides, because that's what we were seeing anyway. So stop presenting in PowerPoint and then do a share screen again, and we should be able to see the same thing as you can see. We're not seeing the present mode, we're only seeing the slides.
So how do I?
So in your
I'm
actual
sorry about that.
PowerPoint, just change it to just the slides. Because sometimes when you're in PowerPoint, it has a
Let me
different
try
mode,
this.
presenter mode.
Yes, got that. Yeah, yes. Okay. So this is what
So
you
let's
want to
give it one
see
more
and not the
go.
presentation one, right?
That's right. Just click through
Okay.
the
So
slides
if
the
I
way
go
if you
into
were
the
editing the
slideshow mode,
slide.
probably that's not working out well.
Yeah, so don't do the slideshow mode. Just scroll down your slides as if you're editing
Yes.
them. Awesome.
Good now. So the first step that I understood was becoming aware of where the problem started. For me, a lot of my issues started in childhood, and for a lot of my clients that I've worked with, I saw that a lot of their belief system, that thought already around them, in an implied manner, and believe themselves. As children, we absorbed everything. So becoming aware what we have absorbed that is not working for us is the first step. Then acknowledging that, yes, that gives you power. Acknowledgement of anything that this is a problem. A lot of people face a problem by that one point, that they can see the problem but they cannot acknowledge it. So that's the second thing I started acknowledging. Yeah, these are the issues. I coming out of denial in a way. It is a thin line between acknowledgement and acceptance, because when you start accepting, that is the third step. That acceptance of whatever it is brings peace to you. So me starting to accept that, okay, these are the things that I've learned in my childhood. These are not conducive for my life. This is not helping me. I actually ended up coming to a place where I started making peace with my past. And then came the point of willingness. But until you're not aware, you're not acknowledging, you're not accepting, you can't be willing to take any kind of action to change whatever it takes in order to make difference in your life. So I was in denial. No matter how fat I was, I used to say, I don't think that I need to lose weight. It's just fine. I'm still fine. That was all my denial, because I was not able to accept what is an issue that I'm having deep inside. And I was so afraid to fail that I was not even willing to go ahead and do something regarding changing the way my life is, right? And then the whole external thing, these are the willingness. You are mostly doing internal stuff that you need to do. Then starts the external thing, where comes the first step of external world that you need to take, is eliminating. So I had to really cleanse relationship and all kind of clutter that I had around me in order to change my life. So I had to actually pick up the patterns that were inside of me. I had to pick up the ways of my life that I was acting into in particular ways, when it comes to my food, when it comes to my behavior, when it comes to my business, my decisions that I was making. All was impacted by what I thought emotionally inside of my own self and the beliefs that I had. But when I became aware, I started acknowledging, I started accepting, I became willing of changing that. The first step I had to take was eliminating things that is not working out. We are so hanging on to things that are not working, but we are not able to move past that. And then came the point where I got the ground clear. Now I have the neat, clean place where I can decide what I want to plan. What is that I want in my life to grow? So once I picked up the clutter, once I removed the things that are not really good for my life, I got space. I always say this, I give this example to people, that if you want to buy a new piece of furniture, the first thing is that you need to remove the old one. A lot of people say that, we never thought like that. We thought that we just have to go and bring. But of course, you have to go and bring. But the first place is you have to make space for that, so that you can bring the other thing inside. So elimination is about making space in your life for the right and the new things that you really want to have. And then establishing it, meaning actually creating, that space, and then bringing in what you want to nurture and want it to grow in your life. So there comes the sixth step, establishing that. If it is established internally, then it will grow and it will flourish externally. And once that is taken care of, all you need to do is to provide the right environment. You have to be, I saw Raj also was talking about the environment part, which I cannot agree less to. I am telling you that if I did not have the right environment and people around me, as having coaches or having the support system, or being part of those kind of people who have like-mindedness as mine, then I would keep on going back down to the square one where I started. Why? Because I'm not feeding my mind with the right kind of information constantly. So it's as it's a very famous saying that you become the people, the 5 most nearest people around you. So you have to choose very, very wisely the environment that you are into, and you have to create that environment by eliminating and establishing what you exactly want. Say there is something that I don't want, I have to remove that, and I have to bring in what I really want to establish it, right? And then comes the mastery. Mastery is important most part of the whole journey, because that's where the last 2 points, the environment and mastery, is where people keep on falling back and going to square one, because they don't have right support system or environment, one, or because they're not practicing what they've learned. So that's very important, that one has all these 8 steps in line, one by one, in sequence, to follow through, so that they can sustain what they've actually achieved. So many times we see that people lose weight, gain weight, people get into beautiful relationship, get out of relationships which are worse, get beautiful relationships, but then go back again being broke in their heart and in their emotionally, they are really not doing well. Why do we see that? Because they are not able to master what they've learned, because they have not practiced that. So that's the 8th step and the most important step of having the environment, number 7, and having the mastery that you need to have by through practice. So these are the 8 steps. I feel that mind is the greatest tool. It's all mental work, most of the it. If you do 90% of it in your mind, everything else outside is going to work out well. That's how it has worked out for me. You'll find right people. I found right coaches to work with. I found right health experts to work with. I found the best of the yoga instructors or weightlifters, and I was bedridden for 2.5 3.5 years actually. And from there to coming to a place which I'm going to share in a moment. I'm going to share some pictures with you. From being bedridden, I had come to a altogether different body reality. From being broken financially, I came to a completely different reality of being a person who runs 3 businesses altogether. So it all is in mind. Mind is the greatest tool. If you use it in the right way, you actually can get through anything. That's what I've understood in my life, at least, and the clients that I work with. Um, I realized that almost anything is workoutable. This is my beautiful husband, whom I'm married to since last 7 years. I'd been into 17 years of toxic marriage when I came out of my divorce, and then I found an amazing guy. He's 7 years younger to me. He had never been married, and we are culturally very different. In India, it's a big thing. People are very conservative about a lot of things, so it was a big thing at that point of time. And but things had worked out really well for us. Again, you work on your mindset. You believe that you are worthy of a beautiful relationship. You can just have that. That's both of us on Zee TV, which is one of the most leading channels in India on television, which is a national channel. We both had been invited to share our journey about how we made such a drastic decision, and we stuck back to it, and how it worked out for us. So this was us with our host in that show. Uh, I actually, from being bedridden, went to walking the ramp and won Mrs. India, and and it was all again in the mind. I just ended up telling myself that I have to go out and share this with so many people. How do I do that? And the opportunity to go about walking the ramp came to me. This was not something that I'd actually put on as I want to walk the ramp and win Mrs. India, but this is something that just usually like the Zee TV thing which I shared about, or this thing that came to me because universe was sending me the tools through which I can reach out to more people. uh, I had been separated from my son for last 6 years, and in last year 2016 I got him back in my life, and that was a miracle. Again, this is our happy family altogether. So uh, you already know my husband, so now you know my son as well. And this is me. I think this is priceless. From being bedridden to being able to do something like this, where I could lose that much of weight, where I could actually get flexible in my body with stage 4 osteoarthritis, not getting operated, not dealing with it in a surgical manner. And I don't say or claim that you must not do it, but what I mean to say over here is that if it is required, you must go through the surgeries. But I am a firm believer that if you work on your emotions, if you work on your mind, you can just create the reality you want in a very different way. Everything is possible. everything is possible. Having the kind of relationship that you want, having the kind of fame you want, the name you want, business you want, money you want, the body you want, anything is possible. And I've done this for myself and thousands of my clients. And that was the 8th step that I shared with you, that it takes for any person. If any one of the steps is missed, they will, if they've not eliminated, they'll go back to square one. If they've not established, they'll go back to square one. If they've not attained the mastery on it, they'll go back to square one. So that 8 steps, being willing, being open, all these things that I've been sharing about in the slides before are the 8 typical steps that I took, and I help my clients to take those 8 steps in a particular environment, in a particular way that I run my workshops. And it had been an amazing journey up until now. So this is me. You can see that from L4, L5 issue, being bedridden for 3.5 years, bending myself in certain ways. This is the biggest thing that I feel as my achievement, that I feel calm and centered in my own body. Nothing beats that. And of course, I'm working with so many people all over the world. I've been in India, over here in India, all over the place. And I feel that if I can achieve, all of you can also achieve this. And if you're willing to make it happen, I'm sure that everybody is, then I'd like to humbly invite each one of you, if you feel this is something that you'd like to also explore, then there is something beautiful that I've created known as Inner Child Healing Challenge, which is a 5-day challenge, and where I talk about each day I talk about different aspects of how to heal your inner child and what needs to be resolved in order for you to heal completely. I'd like to offer that to each one of you over here. If you feel drawn towards it, if you feel this is something that you want, please let me know. I'm in the group with Suman, and I'll share the details with you how you can join this. It's at a very nominal price of $10 as of now, because this is my gift to the world. So I'd like to have you attend this if this is something that resonates with you. If anybody has any question, I'd like to go ahead and answer that. If there is something that you would like to know from me from over my journey, I'd be humbled to answer.
That's absolutely amazing, Nneihaa. Thank you so much. What a wonderful journey. And, you looked like beautiful before anyways, but just to see that like transformation in the pictures, they say a picture speaks 1,000 words, and those pictures really, really did really show that. And that's why I really wanted to make sure your slides were being shown, because I knew that they're going to be powerful images that you're going to show us. And thank you so much for the wonderful gift. What I'd like to say to all the speakers, I know there's a couple that are in the session now at the moment. If you do have these kind of wonderful offers, put the links in the chat box if you can, or do send the links over to me. So when I send up a follow-up email to all the attendees, I'll make sure they've got the access to all of your wonderful different offers. So I'll make sure everybody gets a chance to get their hands on that, because that sounds absolutely amazing. And inner child work is so important. But we are really, really strapped for time. We were supposed to have a short break right now, but we have got Sam coming on at 5. So I'll leave you to it now to have a couple of minutes. Again, get yourself a bit refreshed, have a little bit of a break, come back and join us with Sam Dosa at 5 o'clock. And I'll see you on the other side. So once again, thank you so much, Nneihaa.
Thank you.